one of the ways that I get myself out of a spiral, if I am ever, God forbid, overthinking or assuming something that isn't something that I would want regarding anything, the one thing that I do is I remind myself exactly what it is to be in control, and I simply talk myself into understanding that everything is still working out in my highest favor, and that there is literally no reason to freak out. There's no reason to feel as though things are falling apart or anything else that you may fear. It's all irrelevant, thankfully. And I say thankfully because those fears are not real. They're not anything that could actually genuinely affect you, especially when you know that you're in control of your reality, for one. But number two, also because you don't have enough faith in that fear manifesting for you, as opposed to all of the wonderful, great things that are manifesting for you right now. You understand? Like, you have to pick and choose your battles, for real. I definitely do believe that, because I know that I've done that and do that each and every single day, no matter what the case or scenario is. I just have to choose to be strong about what I'm choosing to believe in. And alongside me choosing to be strong about what I believe in, I also have to remember that some things are just not that deep, thankfully. Again, it's all thankful, because that's a great thing to know, you know, like it's not that deep. It's not anything that is genuinely meant to bring you down in your reality, especially where it's your reality. And I will say that, you know, alongside me having to take myself out of spirals and understand what it is to like talk myself down and talk myself up, you know, calm myself down, basically, I've learned to really have self-discipline when it comes to the things that I think about. So if there is something in my mind that I don't like, you know, something that I don't want to entertain, I choose to not entertain that thing, because I don't want to feel persistently unhappy within that thought or fear or worry or doubt or limitation or anything like that. I have to choose to see the brighter case scenario at all times as much as possible. And even if I ever don't, I'm still choosing to be strong, because I know that my strength is actually manifesting, as opposed to me wallowing myself in the fear, doubt, or pity, you know? And I really do know, I know from the bottom of my heart that we all have the power to be that way, and we all have the power to talk ourselves out of a spiral, because again, it's all about really calming yourself down. There's no reason to let those things rule or dictate your life at all, you know? Especially where you know you have a great self-concept and you know your confidence in this world, there would be no reason as to why you would allow things that don't make you feel good to outweigh or outnumber your confidence in any way, shape, or form, because it's just pointless, you know? And I can't relate to allowing fear to be my number one anymore. You know, for a very long time, that was like my default, the way that I thought and perceived things, and that was just it. But I learned as time went on that genuinely made me so unhappy for so long, and I couldn't live like that anymore, and I didn't want to. I wanted to be happy because I deserved to be happy. And if I deserve to be happy, I have to be responsible enough to really get myself out of any mindset or thought process pattern that is making me feel inadequate in any way, shape, or form. Like, I don't deserve to feel that way. So I will always look towards me choosing to feel more confident in myself and me talking myself up to everything that I know that I actually have going on, as opposed to me sitting here and feeding narratives that don't make me happy. So really, guys, getting yourself out of a spiral does take, of course, mental work, in the way that you have to be strong. You know, you have to choose exactly what you are choosing to think and entertain within your mind and life and reality. But it's something that you can definitely do, especially with practice. As you begin, you start to get better and stronger and more persistent in that mindset, and it becomes so much easier for you to actually perceive things in that positive way, as opposed to limiting yourself down into thinking that you can only think about things one certain sad way, or whatever way you think is gonna bring you down, basically. Like, don't choose and decide on those kinds of mindsets to be your default way of thinking, because it's not. And that's also how you avoid a lot of spirals in the future. You know, you just have to be on top of your stuff and do what you have to do to remind yourself as much as possible. Just talk to yourself nice. That's what I always do. I really, honestly, I do not ever allow myself to be mean to myself at all, under any circumstances. I feel like it's really important to be really nice to yourself, and honestly, I'll probably make that next week's video about being nice to yourself, because it's really important. You have to be forgiving to yourself a lot of times, because I mean, this is your life. You're not going to blame yourself. I mean, okay, take responsibility over yourself, but you're not going to blame yourself for the way that you're feeling and thinking. You're simply going to help yourself get up, just like you would help anyone else that you love in your life. You're not going to blame them for it. You're just going to help them, right? And of course, it's up to them to make the change, but if they can do it, or if you can do it, they can too, and vice versa, you know? So, you know, remember this, guys. It's very important. Definitely is super important. I feel like people getting stuck in spirals is unnecessary, for the reason that it's just not needed. Like, you don't have to feed into that. And I'm not saying saying that it's a waste of time. I mean, of course it's a waste of time, but what I'm saying is that if you do get caught up in one, it's not something where you sit there and say like, I'm so this and that because I can't do this. No, like talk to yourself and let yourself get used to the new positive narrative that you know you deserve as opposed to anything else. Don't settle for less and be strong about what you believe in, because we all have the power to be that way, and we're destined to be that way 110% of the time. All right, guys. So with that being said, thank you guys so freaking much for watching my video today, for listening to me talk about the advice that I have to give y'all for the day. I'm very excited for next week because I love to give my little advices here. Very fun for me to do, and I truly intend and do know that it's helping you out to the most of its ability, which is the most important thing for me. So with that being said, again, God bless you all always. Please take care, everyone. Y'all got this in the bag per usual, period. All right, guys. Bye.